Speaker, Mr. President, Leader Radonio. Governor, thank you for convening this meeting. Glad to be here. I just want to let everybody know I love my state. I know everybody at this table loves your state. It's worth fighting for. My caucus is willing to fight for it. But let's be clear, be very clear. We are not having this conversation in a vacuum. The situation we find ourselves in today didn't start in January when Governor Rauner became governor. It's critical that we take a step back and put today's discussion into context for the people of Illinois. From 2003 to 2015, the Democrats controlled every lever of power in the state of Illinois. Democrats controlled the governor's office. Democrats controlled the House. Democrats controlled the Senate. Every spending plan for 12 years was Democrat proposed. Democrat passed. Democrat signed. Every tax and fee increase for 12 years was Democrat proposed, Democrat passed, Democrat signed. This did not protect the middle class. Every unbalanced budget for 12 years was Democrat proposed, Democrat passed, Democrat signed. This did not protect the middle class. We have the largest unfunded pension mandate in America, and yet it was the Democrats who voted to skip the pension payments in 2005 and 2006. This did not protect the middle class. Medicaid spending doubled over the last 13 years, but no meaningful relief for our employers, the job creators, the ones who put the middle class to work. The mess we find ourselves in today, including the worst credit rating in the nation, 17 credit downgrades under one-party Democrat control, falls in the hands of the Democrats. Now, Governor, I know you did inherit a mess. You took office already facing a $1.6 billion deficit due to the bad budget that was signed in FY15. But you have been reasonable from the start. You brought the four leaders together. You said, let's work to fix this. We can do this without raising taxes or increasing our debt. You made proposal after proposal. And finally, you and your staff were able to bring the Speaker and the President on board to solve the FY15 problem. A fix, I will add, that was passed mainly by Republicans because we stood up to be counted. We put the majority on the board to fix that problem. So be it. We fixed the problems of FY15, that's indisputable. We put FY15 behind us. You brought everyone together and said, let's build on this success. Let's find a way forward for FY16. Governor, you took a leap of faith. One I must admit that many Republicans in my caucus were a bit uncomfortable with. But you believe that being reasonable and showing a willingness to compromise could lead us to a grand bargain to begin the repair of our state. Democrats want to raise taxes by billions of dollars, as evidenced by the temporary tax from a few years ago, rather than change the way government spends money. That was $32 additional billion dollars over 4 years. It was sold on the floor of the House of Representatives as a way to pay our bills, as a way to put people back to work. Didn't work out. But that's their choice. That's okay. And we just don't agree with it in our caucus. And Governor, rather than just saying no, you said I'll compromise. I'll consider revenue only if and only if there's real structural reform to go along with it. That's a leap of faith. And rather than meet you halfway, our friends on the other side of the aisle ran away. They dug into their trenches, said this was war, and we're not compromising. Hence the summer sessions. Our members sat through weeks of working groups, watching the governor's staff make overture after overture, do everything possible to find room for negotiation. For what? A no on each one of those working group proposals. That was unfortunate. Their plan, I presume, is to defend the status quo. No reforms, no changes in how the state spends the taxpayers' money at the state and the local levels. We're nowhere with pension reform, but I do know the governor and the president both have proposals out there that could save us a lot of money. I suggest we start moving on that. Billions. But this never-ending tax and spending cycle has driven our state into the ditch. I'm sorry, but I've seen this bad movie before. It doesn't end well for the Illinois economy. It doesn't end well for the job creation and economic growth that we strive for. And it doesn't end well for the average Illinois family, the middle class. I hear my Democrat friends holler up and down about the governor's reforms would hurt the middle class. I've been hearing about that for months. Really. Let's talk about the policies of the last 12 years that have left the middle class in ruin. Every manufacturing job driven out, every dollar raised in taxes has been done at the expense of the middle class. Between job losses, higher taxes, reckless spending, shortchanging the pension systems, the middle class hasn't just been neglected, but they've been kicked to the curb. If you like the direction we're heading over the past 12 years, by all means, oppose what the governor is proposing to do. But I don't think the vast majority of people in the state think we've been heading in the right direction. It's the reason we have a new governor. They want something different, and they want it now. I've heard the phrase legislative malpractice before. We talk about it jokingly as lawyers, but in my opinion, it is if we only talk about revenue and we don't talk about reform. Revenue is not the answer. It is never going to be the answer. We are tied with New Jersey for the highest property taxes in the country. Cook County has the highest sales tax in the country. Our pension crisis is the worst in America. We have a structural problem, and until you've restructured the way we operate government at all levels, there will never be enough taxes available to feed government's appetite for spending. And undoubtedly, there will never be enough jobs available to restore our economic stature. I am prepared to bring resolution to this impasse. I have for months. Resolution that is fair to Illinoisans, our employers, and yes, also the middle class. Thank you.